So Justin Fields and the Ohio State Buckeyes absolutely crushed the Clemson Tigers in the 2021 Sugar Bowl. They won the game 49-28. And look, I picked Ohio State to win the football game. I felt that Clemson coming into the game was a tad bit overrated. I felt that Ohio State coming into the game was actually flying under the radar. And I felt that Ohio State had the better team. I felt that Justin Fields would step up to the plate and play very well. And I was 100% right. And see, here's the thing, people. The narrative, heading into this season, this college football season, the narrative surrounding Trevor Lawrence compared to the other quarterbacks out there in the country is, oh, look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, he's the next Peyton Manning. He's the next John Elway. He's the next Andrew Luck. You can't miss with Trevor Lawrence. The gap between Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and even Justin Fields is wide, man. You can't go wrong with, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence can't miss prospect. Well, people, it's pretty safe to say today that Justin Fields has closed the gap between him and one Trevor Lawrence. He's closed the gap, people. The gap has narrowed. Okay? Justin Fields in the Sugar Bowl versus the Clemson Tigers was the best player on the field, and it wasn't even close. Okay? 385 yards passing, 6 total touchdown passes to only 6 incompletions on the day. Justin Fields also ran the ball effectively. He did have one costly interception, but the pass was kind of tipped. He kind of got hit when the ball was, coming out of his hand. I don't really hold that interception too much on Justin Fields. It was just a good play by the defense, But listen, people, Justin Fields vastly outplayed Trevor Lawrence. That's saying a lot because if you actually watch the game, Trevor Lawrence did make some very good throws. It's not like Trevor Lawrence, just completely wet the bed. Sure, he was not great versus pressure. Sure, he missed some throws, but Trevor Lawrence made a lot of good elite level throws in that game, and Justin Fields, he vastly outperformed Trevor Lawrence. It wasn't even close. And Brett Venables is one of the best defensive coordinators in all college football. Arguably the best defensive coordinator in all college football. The defensive coordinator for Clemson. He threw look after look at Justin Fields. He threw blitzes. He tried to mix in zone and man coverage. He threw a whole bunch of looks at Justin Fields, and Justin Fields had the answer to every test that was thrown at him. And Trevor Lawrence, he didn't have an answer for Ohio State's pass rush. He didn't have an answer for what Ohio State's defense was throwing at him. Meanwhile, Justin Fields, he had the answers. And Justin Fields, at times, in the open field, he looked like a running back, people. Justin Fields is a better athlete than Trevor Lawrence. Sure, Trevor Lawrence might have a little bit of a stronger arm, but you mean to tell me Justin Fields' arm is weak? That guy has a borderline cannon for arm. Did you see the balls that he was fitting into tight windows? Did you see him stretching the field with those deep passes? I mean, Justin Fields was off the charts, people. You saw the accuracy. You saw the deep balls. You saw the arm strength that was put on display. And you saw a quarterback that is every bit as good as Trevor Lawrence. Not saying, Trevor Lawrence shouldn't be the number one quarterback taken at the time, but you better believe the Jacksonville Jaguars need to be having conversations about, should we maybe take Justin Fields? Should we maybe trade down with a team that maybe wants to get Trevor Lawrence? Maybe we should take Justin Fields point blank, period. Because, folks, if Justin Fields puts on a similar performance versus Alabama in the national championship game versus Nick Saban's defense, I'm sorry, people, but there are going to be folks out there that are going to say Justin Fields should be the number one quarterback taken. And to be quite honest with you, at that point, I probably can't even argue with those people because Justin Fields, he has all the tools to become a great quarterback. And right now, today, at worst, Justin Fields should be the second quarterback off the board in the 2021 NFL Draft. If that's not the case, shame on those teams that don't see what Justin Fields is all about, because it's obvious, folks. Don't overthink this, okay? And I said heading into the season, listen, do not be surprised if Justin Fields becomes the number one overall pick. He's every bit as talented as Trevor Lawrence. He has the tools and the requisite size and the accuracy, the arm strength to become a great franchise quarterback. I've always said, Trevor Lawrence kind of reminds me of the better version of Matthew Stafford. Justin Fields reminds me of a baby Deshaun Watson. You can pick or choose. So you think it's better? Do you want to choose a more mobile version of Matthew Stafford, or do you want to choose baby Deshaun Watson? Okay, that's up to you guys. But listen, folks. Ohio State, they have a real shot to win the national title, and I've been preaching for a while. Justin Fields, he's the real deal. Don't give me Zach Wilson. Don't give me Trey Lance. Listen, those guys are very talented passers as well, but it's Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and everyone else at this point. And I won't be shocked if Justin Fields is taking number one overall eventually if he puts on a great performance versus the Alabama Crimson Tide in the national title game. The gap between Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence is not wide, folks. And you saw a great quarterback put on display in the Sugar Bowl versus the Clemson Tigers. Justin Fields is in the same tier as Trevor Lawrence, and the gap is not that wide between the two. That's all I'm saying, people. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.